Hello, guys. I hope you all are doing good. Today, I'm pretty much excited to upload this video. As in this video, I will show you how we can do the update and the delete part of the data in Django REST Framework. As in the previous video, I have shown you that is how we can use the get and post method. What is the utility of serializer? What is that the purpose of using serializer? In this video, I will show you about put, patch and delete part. So, since we are having two methods, so what is the purpose of having two methods for doing a simple update part? Okay, so let me just tell you, it's very much a little bit easy thing and it's not so much complex. Patch normally does here that it partially update the data, and put, it updates the whole data whether I need to update or not. That is, in models.py file you can see we are having to fill name and age. And if I pass only the means if I want to update only the age field but I need to give two fields both, means I have to give all the fields whether I need to update the data or not. But if I use patch method, then I can have anyone updation. There will be no error. So it will be very clear if I show you in a very practical way. So here in this code, what I have did, I have used the elif part, and as you can see, if part is giving the get method. Elif this if it this is get wrong, means if the user have given post, then this part will be executed, and if the user has given put method, then this part will get executed. That is, if the request of the method is put, then it will come to this line number 36. It will request the data, it will store it in the data, and then it will call the people serializer class. It will come to this class, then it will have all the fields. It means it will serialize all the fields, and it will come to against to view.pile, and it will store in the serialized variable. Then I will validate the data whether the data is serialized or not. For that I am giving a simple if decision statement. That is, if the serialized dot is valid, then it will save the data in the database, and then it will return the response. So if I click here, you can see the response file, it is opening, and this is a response file. You don't have to say it much. You come to the views file again. So then it is serializing the data, means the response is getting in the JSON format. Or else, if this if condition is invalid, that is if it get false, if the data is not valid, it means if the data which is has serialized is not valid, then it will return the response, that is serialized dot errors. And here we are coming to the patch method. Okay, I have to write another line here. That is, I have to write the data. Okay, I missed one line here. I'm not taking the data, means here the data I'm just requesting, but first I have to store it here. Let me just modify the code. Data equals to request dot data. So first we are just requesting the data, and that data is getting stored, and then we are calling the people serializer class, and then after getting serialized, it is getting stored in the serialized. Simple way we will do here also. You can do in this manner also. I am writing you can write in like data equals to request or data also you can write, there will be no problem. Data equals to request, I'm just writing it so that I have a pretty clear understanding. Data and inside data equals to data, I have to call here the id, that is which are the id I am passing, right? Means which id I want to just update. because in patch it does partially updation. So for that I am writing obj equals to percent dot objects dot get id equals to data. Then I will give the id. I have to pass here obj, and also I will have to write here partial updation. Partial equals to true. So what we are doing here, we are getting the data, requesting the data, it is stored here, and then we are just having the id, means which particular id, object id I have to update it and getting stored in this id. And just calling the person model class here, because as the field is getting stored in the models file, then we are just storing the object, that is which particular object id I have to just update it, only that particular id will get the updation. That means that particular id fields will get updation. Means we are having id 1 name age, id 2 name age. Suppose we are passing id 2, then we will have the id to which field there will be updation, whether the name field or it will be the age field. Upon getting updation, it will serialize, and then if it's the data is valid, it will save, or else it will return error. So now I will write here the else part. Data equals to request dot data. Okay, let me show you, let me see some error coming here. Serialize dot valid returns say okay, response serialize dot error, it is coming expected expression. Dot obj dot objects dot get id if serialize. Okay. It was an indentation error. Okay, in Python you will have to make sure that indentation is done properly or it will give error. Obj equals to percent dot objects dot get id equals to data. Then I will give the id. Then obj dot delete, since I'm deleting the data, means which particular id I will delete, which particular object id I will delete, since the id are stored in the object, right? The object 1, object 2, object 3 in a query set. I have just discussed the whole in the previous video, you can just see it there. Return, then I will give the response. Message person deleted. Okay, so let me just run the code. For that I will come here. I have to first run python migration manage.py make migration. We know that why we are doing that migration, because Django will automatically create the corresponding database tables when we run this migration. And we have to run another command also, that is migrate. Since it's completed, now we will run our server. Python manage run server. Our server is getting started. So we know that we are having the API as person. So I'm just copying this one. I will open my Postman. Make sure you have installed Postman in your desktop. Okay, so I have having the ID, and I just want to put using the put method, and in the body, since let me just bigger it. Okay, so last data which were given was the name Lipika and the age is 31. So now I want to just update the data. So for that I will write here, suppose I want to update my first ID. So let me just see what are the data were there. Let me do the get one to see what were the data were there stored. So first ID it was this, second this, third one this, fourth. So let me update the seventh ID only. So in seventh ID there is name Lipika and age is 31. So I just want to update the name part, but I am using put method. So I have to give the ID. So my ID was 7, and the name was, let me just copy it from here. I'm using the put method, and I just want to update the name part from Lipika to Priyanka. And I just means I just want to update the name field only, and then I'm giving the send request. Put not allowed. So it is giving some error. So let me see. Having the patch method, patch not allowed. Mm, Let me see the command prompt. So let me just see here the ID, and means we are just updating the ID and the age. For that, let me just open here. Okay. Let me mention you that you have to give the put and patch, because you have to mention it or you will have some error. That is, as you can see, it was showing that put and patch was not mentioned. Okay, so I'm here using suppose the put method, and I'm just giving the data age. Let me see what it does. See here, you can see this field is required, and if I give here a name, it was given Lipika, and I am sending it, then it is showing the age field is required. That is, in case of put, you have to pass all the field for getting updation, whether I need to update a single field or not. But in case of patch, you can see here that if I give the name, that is, I want to change the name from Lipika to Priyanka, and now I want just sending it, the data got changed. See, you can see the name got changed. And for the delete part, when you have to check, click the delete, and you have just simply give the id, and you're just sending. Okay, so I have to same mention the delete method here. Now you can just, the person got deleted. So why we are getting this message, or this you can see this message, person deleted, because in the view function you can see, when upon getting the object getting deleted, we are sending the response in the JSON format, the giving the message, that message is showing the message that this person got deleted. You can give any kind of message. Suppose you want to give your own wish, anything you want to show to the in the front end, you can show it. So this was our cross operation, that is, we can just create the person, we can just uh, delete, that is, we can just create, we can just read the persons, we can just update, and we can also do the simultaneously the delete part also. And for update, we are having two method, that is put and patch. Patch is doing partially updation, and put, you have to pass all the fields which are mentioned in the models file. Okay, so this was the rest framework part, REST API. So now I want to tell you that if I don't want all the data from the front end to get passed, means when we are sending the data from the front end, we cannot rely simply on the data now. That is, anything the user has sent the data, so I have to give some checkpoints. That is, there should be some validation point. That is, if here in the models file, you can see here we are using two fields, that is name and age. In name age, suppose there is something like any special character, then that name will not get serialized. In case of age, if the age is suppose greater than if the age is less than 25, then that age will not get serialized, that data will not get serialized. For that purpose, we can use some validation part in the serialized file. That is, that is the main purpose of it. That is, we cannot uh, do all this, we cannot serialize all the data which are coming from the front end. So for that purpose, we can use some validation part here. For that, we have to write something. We have to write some code here, that is the validate code. And for it, we have to write a function, that is def validate self. You know always that in Python, whenever we are writing any function, we have to pass the self parameter. If data age is less than 25, then I will not accept that this age. So I will res serializer dot validation error. Age should be greater than 25. Okay, serializer. I have to just check the spelling. Serializer. I have to give R here. Return the data. So what I'm doing here, that is, if the data, that is the age which is coming from the front end, is less than 25, then it will raise the validation error that it should be greater than 25, or else it will return the data. So you can do it for the name part also, and you can have many number of fields which you want, but mainly you have to mention first in the models file, then in the serializer file. So let me just check it here. Let me go to the postman. Suppose I am giving another ID, right? Suppose ID 8, and here I am just writing um, name as since I was using age. Okay, first let me give the name part. Name, let me give something Ram. It's so much common name, right? When we were small, we used to, yeah, use this name so much. Age. Suppose I'm giving 10. So let me see whether it's post. So you can see invalid data because the age should be greater than 25. So this was a part which I was wanted to show you. In the next video, I will make some more interesting topics and more interesting things I will bring. And stay tuned to the next video and have a great day. Bye bye.